this video, I'd like to show how to set up the net systems at Cooper Middle School. There are two gyms at Cooper Middle School. Gym number 1, called the Aux Gym occasionally, and gym number 2, which is the main gym. The net system is exactly the same. It's called the Senoh International Net System. It's actually a very high-end system used by NCAA Division I teams. The nets are stored in 2 separate places, so we'll walk you through that. And the setup is a little quirky, slightly different from all the other gyms, but once you get a hang of it, it's pretty easy to set up.
The smaller gym number 1 supports one center court with the volleyball poles and nets stored in the room on the far end of the gym. The larger gym number 2 supports both one center court and 2 side-by-side courts with the volleyball poles and nets stored behind the double doors on the far end of the gym. You will need to ask a custodian to unlock the storage room doors in both locations. For each net setup, plan to pull out 2 poles, one with a crank and one without. After pulling the pole out of the storage, first lift the cover and then place the pole inside the pole sleeve. To set the net height, use the bottom pin adjuster and the markings on the inner silver pole. The W mark is for middle school and high school teams. The JR mark is for elementary school teams. Make sure the line for the appropriate mark is lined up with the top of the red pole. When you pull out the net, note that the rope on the top of the net has 2 different ends. Take the end with the metal loop and place it on the pole without the crank, looping it over the wheel and connecting it to the fixed hook. Loop the other end of the net rope over the wheel on the opposite pole and connect it loosely to the hook inside the crank. With the crank arm, begin tightening the net. Wind the crank until the net is tight and level. Once done, place the crank arm back into the crank so it's easy to find later to take down the net. The net's bottom rope uses a net lock to provide tension. Pull the inside section of the net lock towards the pole to loosen, or pull the whole unit towards the net to tighten. Loop the rope around the pole a few times as needed, and then connect the snap hook at the end of the rope to the net lock. Pull the net lock enough so the piping of the net is parallel to the pole. On the opposite pole, do the same thing with the bottom rope and net lock, making sure the net piping is parallel to the pole. There's an optional Velcro strap that can be used to add additional tension to the net. Finally, place the pads around both poles, securing them with the Velcro straps. Once done, you're now ready to play some volleyball. To take down the nets, do the same steps in reverse. For storage, fold the net multiple times, first in half, then in quarter, and so on. Once folded up, place the net into the pad. Then seal the pad with the Velcro straps. Return the pad to the storage room, making sure it is placed in its original location and clear from blocking any paths into the storage room. Finally, return each pole to the storage rack, safely connecting the pole with the Velcro straps. Thank you for watching this video.